Woo! I'm telling you, if you don't find that countdown music to be a jam, it's a jam to me. Well, hello, everybody. I would just finish doing what I hope that you will do, and that is sharing. Leader share. You should be sharing. But who am I and what I want to say welcome to Leadership Live 2021, week 24. Week 24. We are in the 24th week of 2021, and I am totally excited about it. And who am I and what is this? Well, this is Leadership Live, and what we do here is share journeys, share stories, so that we can show you how we've been successful or even some unsuccessful at some times, and any way we can, and sharing our journey, our stories to help you become a better leader in whatever area of leadership you are leading, traditional or non-traditional. And who am I to be talking to you about leadership? Well, I am Dr. Renita L. Webb. I am an educational leadership strategist, and that means that I educate leaders to become more authentic in their leadership, to empower their fellowship, and ultimately make a greater impact on the world. That's what I do. I'm also a veteran educator, having served grades kindergarten through college, teacher to principal, and like after school program director. I've been a curriculum facilitator. I've had an opportunity to do a lot of things. I am also a wife and mother of four children. I birthed two and I own two. Like I gave birth to two of them and I own two. And I say I own them because I fed them so long that at this point they are mine, on top of the fact that they were my husband's children and they lived with me for a very long time and I love them. So I birthed two and I own two. And from that journey, I became an author, the author of Stepmom, Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs. What a wonderful story. It is very real, very raw, but it also gives you some great tips on your parental and familial leadership journey. I am also the author of While You're Sleeping, the Perfect Children of All Ages book. You can get them. You can get them. Those books are still available. I am a coach. I am a speaker. I am a trainer. I am a mentor. I am also a mentee. I am a minister. And honey, darling, those crowns aren't up there for nothing. I am a queen. Now, I am a queen. And I am a queen. I am the current reigning Mrs. Black, North Carolina. I am also the elite Southern Charms, North Carolina Ultimate Grand Supreme. And I am the East Coast USA National. Honey, listen to it. National. I am the national talent performer of the year, and I am so honored to wear each and every one of those crowns. I am also the founder and visionary of the Refining Life, a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide you with experiences so that you can lead a more positive and productive life. And just so you know, mark your calendars, ladies, for September 25th, Refining the Mind Women's Conference Year 7 is coming at you. Registration is coming soon. So, all of those things being said, I am excited to be here with you yet another week. Leadership Live has been going strong. I mean, the past 23 weeks have been off the hinges. And I promise you every week that the new person coming the next week is not going to let you down. And I'm going to tell you, the sister who's coming on today, just be ye also ready. Okay, here we go. Well, we're going to go ahead and add her beautiful self into the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Chemeka Turner Williams. And the crowd.
You are something else. Good evening to you. I just love it. I just love the energy. I just love the excitement. I'm looking forward to what tonight is going to bring. So I salute you and I honor you, my sister, Dr. Renita Webb, with this Leadership Live and the consistency that you have been continuing to do for these 24 weeks and soon to be even more, because there's so much information that people need to hear from various perspectives. So I look forward to it. I thank you for the opportunity to even bless your stage on today. And I want to salute all of those out there that's on social media, Facebook. What we need you to do now is to tag Invite and share.
Yes.
Tag, invite, and share. Even if you have to share it 2 or 3 times, share it on your page, because we want to see the numbers come up and we want to see that the individuals are coming on. Don't keep this secret to yourself. Let everybody know that we're here with Dr. Renita Webb with her Leadership Live, and you have some great and valuable information that's going to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so I know you hear her voice already. She's getting ready to bring you all the energy, the feels, and the amazingness, right? So for those of you all who do not know, and even those who know us may not know, that this is my twin, even though clearly we're not twins by birth. So this beautiful woman, and I'm sure she's going to speak on them a little bit later, she has these beautiful twin women, these young ladies. But
Yes.
they talk about being twins, they talk about twin. Well, we just decided we had enough. We were going to be twins too. Sometimes you get to choose your sisterhood, and that's what we did. We not only chose to be sisters, we chose to be twins. So I am excited to have my twin on here with me today. But Dr. Chemeka, I'm going to step aside and allow you to have your moment. Tell the people about you, who you are, and what you do.
Well, listen, what better person or individual to be a twin with than the Dr. Renita Webb? So definitely, she is my twin. We're sisters for life. She's a phenomenal woman. She's a phenomenal individual. Not just because she's my sister, but because of everything that she's done. And so I'm so honored to be connected to her. I'm so honored to know her. I'm so honored to even have that relationship with her. But I am Dr. Chemeka Turner Williams, and I know you might be wondering, like, who am I? There are so many things and so many perspectives that I hold, and so many nouns or adjectives that could describe me. But first and foremost, I need you to know that I am a leader by nature. I'm a servant leader by nature. My objective, my desire is to serve people in whatever capacity that may be. So I'm a servant leader. So while I'm leading individuals, I'm serving with them also. So I'm Dr. Chemeka Turner Williams. I am a mother of 4 beautiful young ladies and men. I can't say that they're babies anymore because my youngest are 18, they're twins, and my oldest is 24, and I have a son that's 21. So I have been leading even in the family. So alongside from being a mother, I am a businesswoman. I am a business and leadership growth strategist. So I'm leading individuals in their whatever perspective they're leading, in their jobs and their careers, whatever they may be. I'm the CEO of Next Level Coaching and Consulting, as well as Next Level Global Enterprise. So look forward to that because we have so much that's going to be coming out with that. I am an author of 3 books. I'm a best time seller, Amazon's best time seller as well. I'm a book coach. I'm a ghostwriter. I'm many of those things. I am an educator as well, educator for over 17 years. So teaching is in my nature. Teaching is in my DNA. I've been a counselor. I've been a town commissioner. That's right. I've overseen the town. I had the honor and privilege of serving with the mayor and the rest of my commissioner friends and colleagues. So I've had the opportunity to implement programs, summer camps, schools, anything that you can name that I've had the opportunity to experience that. I'm an advocate for domestic violence and abuse. So I bring awareness and I bring education to the issue of those that are suffering in silence from domestic violence and abuse, from homelessness, just bringing awareness to the issue, educating individuals on what it looks like, because what we perceive it to be, that's not what it is. I'm a lover of people. I just love people, and I love to see that people grow to their next level, because everybody has various levels that they're in. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, next level leadership. So I'm a keynote speaker. I host seminars and things of that nature. I am the nonprofit founder of Pearls of Purpose, Inc., which is organized to cater to those of domestic violence and abuse as well. So all of those things, I'm a master teacher. But like I said, none of that means anything. The most important thing is this right here, that I am a servant leader. So I'm excited to share my experiences with you tonight. I'm excited to talk with my sister, Dr. Renita Webb, about all the great things that we're going to do. And we look forward to the questions that are going to come in. So once again, I need you to go ahead and invite someone in. I need you to tag someone, and I need you to share this live and let everybody know that we are here. So once again, I'm going to be sharing this stage tonight with my sister, Dr. Renita Webb. I am the Dr. Chemeka Turner Williams.
Yeah. So as you all can see, Even from when you shut it down in your introduction, that's how you know this is going to be a good day. But, oh, okay. So, Dr. Chemeka, you do so many different things. But
Yes.
let's take it back to the opportunity where we had to meet, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, we actually met initially kind of low key because we are mothers of pageant queens.
Mothers of pageant queens. Yes, absolutely.
And so our daughters won their first, well, my daughter's first pageant. Was it your girl's first pageant?
That was their first pageant.
Okay. So each one of our children won their first pageant together. So we had Little Miss Black North Carolina and Talented Teen Black Talented Queen North Carolina, who went on to become the national Black talented teen, and then we ended up getting a new talented teen who would happen to be her twin sister. So we had the opportunity, and so what we realized is that we were nurturing queens even before they were queens with crowns, physical crowns. We were already nurturing queens, and we had their powers combined. So then a few months later, we both got talked into competing, and we didn't compete against each other, but we did compete at the same pageant. So we won. Each one of us won. So, but it was before then. I just felt something about Chemeka's spirit. I said, "Oh, that one right there. That's about to be my sister for life." And so I think I was named first, and I won Mrs. Black North Carolina, and then they named the Mids. And there is a beautiful picture, and I wish I had it to pull it up. There's a beautiful picture of us right after you came off the stage when you got crowned.
Oh yeah.
And I just saw her, and I just needed to embrace my sister.
Yeah.
It's a moment I will never forget. Even now, I feel tingles thinking about it. But it's the idea of queens truly being happy for other queens, and women being truly happy and excited for another woman, and a leader being truly happy and excited for another leader. That was not a thing that you could do or I could do to diminish the shine of either one of us in that moment. But we could embrace the shine. And I think I look at that picture and you see how brightly we shine together. It's because we chose to shine together. And even the other women who were on the stage, there was nobody taken away from anybody's shine. It was that moment where we could all uplift each other together. It was going to be a single winner, even for our king who got crowned that night, Willie Davis. I hope you catch it. But it was about embracing, and it's something about, so you talked about growing leaders and supporting leaders and being a servant leader, and all of those things. Just thinking about the way that you have to learn to support others in their time. What are some of the ways you find yourself supporting other people in helping them in their growth and in serving with them at the same time?
Absolutely. Even from that moment where we became twins and pageant queens ourselves, it was definitely a moment and one to remember. And I love how you stated how we embraced each other. We encouraged each other along the way, because we knew that we had to uplift and we had to help build one another up, regardless of whatever, even the rest of the queens, regardless of what the outcome was. It was celebrating someone else's time.
Right.
It was celebrating someone else's moment. Regardless of the outcome, because even regardless of whoever won, we were all winners, because we sat on that stage at that moment, and at that time, we were still making history. So many African American women that were from various backgrounds that stood on that stage and just showed their beauty, their natural selves, and who they were, how they were leading in their own perspectives, and everyone just coming together and just celebrating and upholding each other. So with that being said, to answer your question, how have I done that personally myself, is being able to uphold others' visions, being able to help build someone else up so that they can become the leader that they are. They may be leading already, but helping them to maximize and capitalize on the leaders that's on the inside of them so that they can grow and take their leadership abilities even to the next level. Because leadership is not a noun, it's a verb, it's action, it's movement. So how can you lead if you're not making impact? How are you calling yourself a leader if you're not changing individuals? How can you be a leader if you're not helping those get to the next level, identifying their skills, identifying their abilities, the areas in which they're strong at, so that they can supersede and they can excel even their own expectations? So quite often, many times, leaders build other leaders. Leaders grow and develop other leaders. So you have to remember that, and you have to keep that in mind, that leading is not about a title. Leading is not about a position. It's how are you impacting? How are you making those that are following you? How are you influencing others so that they can reach their next level of growth, their next level of leadership in whatever capacity it is that they're operating in? Whose vision are you serving?
And the question is,
you need great leaders. Someone else's vision comes to pass before it's your own. So while you're working, helping someone else's vision, while we're following someone else and helping them to even manifest their vision of what they have, we are gaining certain skills. We're seeing from another level. So we're looking at it from another level of someone else. So we're taking all of those skills and capitalizing on it. So when it's our turn, when we're leading, then we're training the next one up. That's up on the bus, the one that's coming up next, who's taking over.
Absolutely, because that's what leaders should do. Yes. Leaders should be constantly cranking out other leaders, because that's what leaders do. Real leaders. When you go from the idea of being a leader versus being a manager, you're not just managing people, you're leading people. So you should be influencing them to go forth and do greater things. One of the biggest complaints I hear from leaders, especially people who some I end up working with, is that, oh, people just, they don't get it, or they, I don't see them, giving their all or doing their best. Well, honey, darling, it's probably because they're not bought into your vision, or you have not made your vision clear. A lot of leaders run into this situation where they want to lead, but what are you leading, and why are you leading, and what are we doing, and what's going on here? Do you even get what you really want? And some people only see the end, or at least what they hope to be the end, and they don't get the minimum. Like, you gotta lead some people with a little bit of detail. Let them know where you're going.
Absolutely.
So, thinking about vision, because that's the term and that's the thing. You were talking about next level leadership, and in getting your leadership to the next level, what does that look like?
I'm definitely so glad that you asked that question, because it looks like it's different for various individuals. Once again, like you stated, it's about who are we showing and how are we helping serving others. So it looks like in various capacities. For example, people they're going to follow you. You're going to have influence. You're going to have the solution to the problems that the individuals are looking for. So when you're leading at another level, you have the answer that someone else is needing. You're going to have those that are following you, not because they want to, but because they have to, because you have the answer that they are seeking, and they will not be successful in whatever it is that they're doing if they do not get what it is that you have to offer them. And so with that being said, just because, and let me make this known, just because you have followers does not make you a leader. No, because anybody can follow foolishness. Anybody can follow a clown. That doesn't make you a leader. But leaders must have followers. So they're following you because they have to, because they need to. And we know how to handle people. Next level leading is all about relationships. Relationships that you're building, relationships that you're forming. That's the only way that anyone can get to their next level, is the relationships that you have built and the relationships that you are forming. because no one can do this thing single-handedly. It takes a team of individuals to be successful, and it takes a team of individuals that you're connected to in order to get to your next level. What relationships are you forming? What relationships are you developing at this current moment, at this current time? Because that's going to determine a lot about your next level of success and your next level of growth. The relationships, that's the key, and that's the foundation. And you said earlier, managers are different from leaders. There's different levels of leadership. Managers is one level, but there's even another level above that. You have those that are the overseers. So you have to have relationships. You have to form that. You have to know which level you are at and what skills are required for you to even go to the next. Relationship is the key for either one of them. Relationship is going to be the foundation.
Oh, yes. And you know what? You said something earlier about just because you have followers doesn't make you a leader. But I will say I think that we have to distinguish that there are people with followers who are horrible and ratchet, but they're still leaders, even though they may be leading people to just absolute horribleness, intentionally or unintentionally. They're still leaders if they acknowledge those followers. You know they're following you, but you're going to still lead them to this mess? Okay, you're irresponsible leader.
That goes back to, once again, the characteristics of that individual. Do they have all of those components, but what is it about their character? What is it about their the character as a whole? That says a lot in itself. And what skills and what strategies do you have that's going to make you an effective leader? So that's another word that we want to act in there. Effective leader. Are you effectively leading in whatever area it is that you're in?
Yes, and prayerfully you are leading them to something positive.
You're leading them to something positive, absolutely. And because those individuals are trusting you. Once again, that's the danger of it. When you're in a position of authority and you're in a position of a power or whatever leading capacity that you're in, because titles don't make you a leader either.
Right.
So we have to understand that titles does not make you a leader. So we have to make sure that we have the characteristics, the qualifications in order to lead others. And where are you leading them to? What is the path that you have set and that you have carved out for them? Are you leading them to somewhere or someplace that's going to enhance who they are, that's going to be more beneficial to them, that's going to bring them success versus bringing them chaos? How are you leading? So a lot of times, even as leader, I don't care what capacity you operate in, you have to do self-evaluation. You have to evaluate where you are and be honest with it. And honestly, even being a leader in whatever capacity, you have to have someone over you. Who is your mentor? Who is your coach? Who is it that you're getting strategies and who's pouring into you as well? Because that determines a lot about an individual's success as a leader as well. Who are they being mentored by? Who are they being coached by? Every great leader has a leader. I don't care if you're the mom at home. You're leading in your home. You're leading your children. Right. You're leading your family. And so those same skills and qualifications that it takes to be a mother or a father is going to be the same skills and qualifications that it takes to operate in any other capacity of leading. Yes.
Yes. And I want to go back to something that you talked about a minute ago in this relationships. So when we're thinking about taking our leadership to the next level, which anybody in leadership who is intentionally, doing something about it, we should always be constantly going to our next place, our next level, deal what you need to deal with here and then make sure that you're still growing. So if we're trying to go to our next level of leadership and our next level is connected to our relationships, how do we effectively connect and build relationship with individuals or organizations so that we can continue to go to our next levels?
Once again, that's going to go back to knowing that you cannot do this by yourself. Depends, because different individuals have different personality types. Some individuals, they may lead, but they don't like to talk to people. I don't know how you're going to do that, but you have to learn how to communicate. Communication is the key. And so it's basically, as a leader, you already have a plan. You should have a plan. You should have some type of blueprint of where you are going. Right. You have a vision of where it is that you're going, where you're going to take your team. Being able to identify the strengths and the weaknesses of the team members that you have so that you can strategically and effectively place those individuals where they need to be. I don't care how great you are. You can't do everything by yourself. You're not going to make it. So in order to grow out, out and also in depth, you have to connect and make those meaningful relationships and be genuine with it. Because people there will respect and they will accept genuineness versus you just being fake and phony about it. They're not going to receive that at all. But if it's mutual, they're gonna receive it. If you're walking in integrity, once again, what does your character say about you? Mm-hmm. So what you attract a lot of times is what's on the inside of you as well.
So for people, if they're coming to you, who is the authentic Dr. Chemeka?
And see, that's what I love, because a lot of times people can get it misunderstood about the container. You can be misjudged a lot of times, or they may not really understand who you are. Sometimes it may seem as if, I may be unapproachable, but I'm not. But the true authentic Chemeka, listen, I love to have fun. I'm silly. I love people. I love to laugh. I love to enjoy the moment. I love to help build others, because I know what it's like to be torn down. So everything that everyone was not to me, I said to myself, I would be that for someone else, because I just love people, just helping those individuals reach their next, whatever it may be. I don't care. Be that support for an individual. So that's the true authentic Chemeka. I'm a lover of people. I love to have fun. I'm goofy and silly at times. People don't see that until they really get to know me, but I really am. I'm just as silly, like a big kid half the time. I love to have fun. I'm very down to earth once you have that conversation with me. But because I have a strong presence and a strong personality, people don't see that all the time. They think it's all business, or ministry, because I'm a minister wherever I go. I'm an elder in the Lord's church. So regardless of whatever I do, I take that light with me. Right. It's going to be seen throughout. So that's number one, first and foremost. It's about souls and it's about people. But I just love to have fun. I love to crack jokes, laugh. So that's pretty much who I am. I just love to laugh. I love to live life abundantly and not be bound by the cares of the world. I love to live, like really live, because it was a point in time in my life that I was just existing. I wasn't living. I didn't truly know how to live and lead, but now I do. I have that. I know what it takes to have that balance, so that the worker doesn't kill Chemeka, or the position doesn't kill Chemeka, doesn't kill the woman underneath all of that, that my assignment doesn't kill the woman under all of that.
Mm-hmm. Now that's something that let's take a pause right there. So leaders a lot of time become to, I guess, the outside their position, right? So I remember being a school principal. And to people, I was the principal. Like, she is the principal. She's a principal. She's a principal. This is the principal. The principal did this, and the principal says that, and this is what the principal should look like, and this is what the principal should feel, because she's the principal. But at the end of the day, she is Dr. Renita. And I'm going to keep saying that, because while I was principal, I earned those letters real strong and hard. But, I'm Renita. That's who I am. And what I have learned is that if I don't infuse me into that position, because some people, once again, like you said, they get lost in the position, or they allow the position to kill who they were. So I have to infuse me into what you get. If you interviewed me and hired me for a position, let's start off first and foremost. And this is something I used to say to my staff all the time. If you are who you were at your interview, then we're going to be just fine here. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great day, as long as you are who you were at your interview. So leaders and people who are in pre-leadership journeys, here, matter of fact, let me take my glasses off. Be you. Be you. When you go to that interview, this is not a time to fake it till you make it. Make sure you're interviewing and showing up as yourself. If you don't know how to do something, even though you may have the capacity to learn to do it, let's be honest. Let's show up as our personality. Now, I'm not saying to come in there looking rough and stuff with your Afro puffs. That is not the appropriate attire for where you're going. Sometimes you got to shift it a little bit. but still be you. Speak in the code of the language and the lingo of where you're going, but be you. Don't be this different character and then expect people to be okay with you. That's not who they hired. That's not who they chose to lead them. That's not who they chose to lead the organization. You've got to be you. So in that moment and in those places and spaces of being the leader, of being the mom, of being all these other titles, in those titles, in those beings, should still be you. Don't die in leadership. Don't die in leadership. And I don't mean like when you go on to be with the Lord that you shouldn't be a leader when you
absolutely not. Don't lose yourself in the role.
Right. Don't lose you. You were made to do this, and they need you. They need Dr. Chemeka. They need Dr. Renita. They need you. And if you aren't showing up, then you aren't doing your assignment, because they needed you. And every experience that you've had, everything that you've gone through, every person that you've connected to, every lesson that you've learned, they need that. That's why you were assigned to that. Don't die. Don't die.
And you said so much there, Dr. Renita. A lot of times we don't know who our true authentic selves are, because we've been walking in this imposter syndrome for so long, because we're trying to imitate others. We're trying to imitate what we see over here or what someone else may be doing, thinking that may be a fix, even though they may have those great qualities and those great characteristics, which is fine. But you still have to find the authenticity of who you are, because you're great in your own right. You're great yourself. So you have to believe. Once again, that goes into confidence and believing who you are, believing in yourself, believing in operating in the capacity that you know that you can walk in, but still be authentic. Like, I love what you said about still knowing how to talk the language of the environment that you're in, still carrying that level of class and professionalism and that level of excellence, but your personality still should be seen in there. Because a lot of times we aren't authentic, so we're miserable operating in those roles. You're miserable operating in those positions because you're not being who you are called to be. And there are so many individuals that are designed just for you. They are assigned just to you, and so they need that personality type. They need those certain characteristics that you have and that you possess, because that's how they're going to glean from you. That's how you're going to be able to reach them and relate to them. So being authentic and walking into your level of leadership and who you're called to be with confidence, and knowing that you know what you know, and knowing that you know what you're called to do. And it's okay to be different and unique in your leadership style. Everybody has a different and unique leadership style. So once you ever tap into who yours truly is, walk in it with confidence. Embrace it.
Oh, absolutely. When I am teaching one of the college courses that I teach, it's actually with educators. And one of the very first things we do when I talk about a teacher as a leader, and please note this isn't a classroom management class, but I feel like leadership is one of the biggest things we should be talking about. When we talk about teacher as a leader, first thing we do is this survey of trying to analyze what type of leader you are. And understanding that your type of leadership is okay because it's you. But that doesn't mean you don't need to know about these other types of leadership. You might need to know them because, like, if you're not a dictative leader, which is not always a good thing to be a dictator, but you need to have a little dictator in your pocket. So sometimes you gotta go through your box of leadership skills. I'm about to be a dictator right now. What did I say? I said go to bed. Why? Because at this point, because I said so 3 times ago. Because you need rest. Go to bed. You need to pull out your charismatic leader, because everybody is sleepy and tired. Hey, how y'all doing today? You might not be the most charismatic person. You might be a little bit more of an introvert, but you might have to infuse some energy into people. You better get it for 5 minutes. Learn what it feels like. What does charismatic feel like? And sometimes it's loud and smiley. If you need to pull out your loud and smiley before you go back into your office and read your book and close your door and cut off the lights, do that. But you sometimes you just got to pull things out of your pocket, but you got to know what sits in you best, and then figure out how you can emote these other types of leadership, learning about what skills and things that they evoke in people, and then employing that in your spaces as needed. But then go back to being you. I mean, being your most comfortable self. Because sometimes as leaders, we just got to get uncomfortable. You're gonna have to do the uncomfortable thing. You're gonna have to have the conversation you just don't want to have, and it might be with somebody you love a lot, but you about to have to let them go because they're no longer operating in their gift. Maybe they never were, and you will have to have that conversation. I love you, but come on in this room. Yeah, we got this paper. Yeah, this is the person from HR. We're about to have a conversation. Yeah, no need to get mad now. Come on.
And I love what you stated about knowing you may have one leadership style, but you still need to understand what the rest of the leadership styles look like. And most of us, even though we're leaders and we find ourselves in that personality, that category of one type, we still have the other types that's embedded in us as well. And that'll make you even more effective because you have to know how to operate in it. Leaders, they know how to take control also. So sometimes you have to come with that authority and bring that force that's behind it when you're overseeing individuals and when you're leading large numbers of individuals, whether it's one or two. Like I said, we're leaders even in our home. So you have to take that authoritative approach. But knowing each one of those aspects of those different types of leadership styles is definitely going to help you, especially when you're leading other individuals and other people, because then everyone doesn't respond to every leadership style. So you have to know how to present and how to navigate through that in order to effectively pull out the skills and the qualities inside the leaders that you're raising up.
Absolutely. And people come in so many different types. And different types of leaders that there are even more just types of people. And back to, they need you. You have been assigned to these people for some reason in some place, and they need you. But they may also need the other tools you got in your bag. Maybe you've been stomped all over on in your life before and nobody listened to you. Well, I have learned how to get heard. And so I have to pull up my hear me tool today, because you obviously are not, because you're not doing what I asked you to do. So you need to hear me today. Maybe you got to pull that out of your toolbox. But speaking and thinking of that, I want to go to another area in which you do a lot of work. And that is in the area of domestic violence advocacy, because that's a different type of leadership. Advocating for anyone or anything is a different type of leadership. But you are helping people to understand their strength in times when they feel powerless. How has this come about? And what is the work that you do specifically in this area?
Well, definitely it does take a different type of leading. How did it come back? Because I'm an overcomer of domestic violence and abuse. I don't say I'm a victim, because I don't look at myself as a victim at all, because I took back my authority, I took back my power, and what was meant to destroy me, I use it to build, and so that I can elevate myself to the next level. So I'm an overcomer of those things that was used to destroy me, that was used to kill me, to hinder me. Not only just the physical aspects of it, but the mental, the emotional, all of that that's combined. And so being able to be an advocate for those, I understand the process. So even when you're leading and you're helping those victims and those survivors of domestic violence and abuse, you have to understand that you can't lead with your emotions first and foremost. And even before I could lead doing this, I had to have been at a certain level of being healed myself. Because when I started the process at first, I said, I want to make sure I'm bringing awareness, and I want to be able to talk to the people about it. But every time I would talk about it, I would break down crying, boo-hooing, boo-hoo-hoo. I can't even get the message out because I'm on the stage, all in my feelings, all in my emotions, reliving that hurt and that all of that. Then I was like, hold on, you got to be healed first to some capacity before I sit up here and try to help others and pull others out, because that's not a moment where I can be weak, because those individuals are already weak themselves. So they need someone that's strong that can let them know that there is hope. So, throughout the process, I had to obtain my healing and deal with the root issues of what the effects of what had happened to me. And so I did that. And so I knew what it took. I knew what it would take to help those individuals in that situation to be quiet about something that's going on, but you feel that you have to hide behind it. You're ashamed about it. You're embarrassed because society has made it that way. Society sweeps this issue up under the rug and act as if it's not even going on. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to address it because guess what? I might have to look at my neighbor. I might have to look at what's around me. I might have to look what's to the side of me because it's going on in the homes. It's going on in the communities. It's going on in the churches. But see, we don't want to address some things sometimes because then we have to have confrontations about some issues. We have to have discussions about some issues that a lot of times are people want to keep hidden, but they don't want to talk about it. But it's real. It's what's really going on. So just helping identify those individuals and let them know that they have a power on the inside of them that is stronger than what they think. Even though they have been beaten down, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever capacity it may be, that they still have a voice, that they still matter, that they're stronger than what they think. If they really believe in themselves and be confident, because sometimes that strips you of your confidence. It strips you of your identity. So help them identify who they are. You're not what happened to you. You're not just a victim of domestic violence. You're not just a woman or a man or a child that was abused. You are more than that. Your past does not dictate who you are. Your past issues do not identify who you are. Your struggles does not identify. So helping them to see that that's not who I am, that there's something more to me. So just being a strong voice and being a strong force to help those individuals, because guess what? When you start educating, when you start bringing exposure to an issue and a matter, you're going to be fought because people, they don't want to talk about the truth. They don't want to acknowledge what's really going on. And so a lot of times you're going to be fought and people are going to come at you from all different directions, but you have to understand that this is part of the process. This is coming with the territory. So when you are a trailblazer, that means you're going before others. The path is going to be hard.
Right. You're burning away the thing so others can walk it.
Yeah, so it's going to be hard. So it definitely takes a lot when dealing with that category of advocating and leading for women and children of abuse, because these are things that are costing lives at an alarming rate on a daily basis. And even you can see it now throughout the pandemic. It got worse. The numbers increased dramatically. And so what we do with Pearls of Purpose Inc. is we provide educational resources and things of that nature. But we provide them with or partner with different individuals so that they can have resources of having shelter while they are trying to escape their abuser. We also offer educational services, because what we need to do with that is to educate not only the people of how to escape it, but society of what does it look like. Because a lot of times you think that it's just physical, but no, it's more than that. And people are being abused daily and we accept it as if it's our norm. Oh, that's just the way they talk, or that's just what they do. That's not normal. That's unacceptable. So just educating individuals on what it looked like, providing resources for the individuals that are in need of it, because that's a time of transition. So you have a lot of emotional and mental issues that come about from it. So mental health issues are connected with it. So we can provide them with resources that will allow them to connect with psychologists, therapists, and counselors as well.
Wow. That's so much, and it's so good, and there's so much there. The first thing I want to talk about, one, I just want to bring up the fact. So this is a sidebar to what we're really going to talk about right now. Is when you brought up being a trailblazer. I need people to understand, and the term trailblazer itself, I want you to think about what you're saying. A trailblazer is a person who is burning away a path for other people. That means you're dealing with all the crap.
All of it.
You're dealing with all the crap, and you're clearing passage for somewhere else. That means there's junk on the path. Like, people can't see the path. You are literally burning the stuff away so that the path can be clear for others. So know that if you intend to be a trailblazer, you want that kind of recognition, or if there's anybody that you recognize as a trailblazer, they dealt with the crap. Yeah. People who come behind them are fortunate because their path is clearer because of the person who blazed the trail. So let's just start there. Second,
All right. So even with what you said about that with the trailblazer, it's the synonym for that is going to be the pioneer. So they're both the same thing. So this trailblazer or pioneer. And either way you have to do it, like you said, they're going to a territory that has not been charted before. So that means they're going to be taking all of the hits, they're going to be taking all of the blows, all of that, because they are the first, they're pioneering. In order to be that trailblazer and that pioneer, you're going to have tough skin.
Oh, yes.
You're going to have perseverance. You're going to have to be able to endure persecution and suffering, because that's what strengthened the trailblazer. That's what strengthened the true pioneer. That the more they're attacked, the more that they overcome. So when you're the trailblazer, when you're the pioneer, you're going to be attacked consistently. But guess what? You're going to overcome at any time, because you have been assigned to be the first. You've been assigned to go ahead and be the forerunner, to tear down everything that's going to be in the way for those that you're assigned to, that's coming ahead of you. So you're going to be attacked. So you have to also accept that even being a trailblazer and a pioneer, half the time you're going to be rejected. You're going to be overlooked. People are going to try to devalue, because that's how the enemy wants to come in and mess with your mind, as if you're not being effective, as if you're not who God has called you to be. So pioneers and trailblazers, they suffer. Pioneers, trailblazers, they endure, and they have to keep their eyes on the goal. So regardless of whatever it is that's going on around them, you have to make sure that you keep your eyes on the goal, your assignment. What is your purpose in leading? So once you keep that in mind, you can go just a little bit more. They have to know that the path, the trail that you're blazing right now, that is not even about you, because it's for the generations that's going to come, the generations that's behind you. You're leaving a legacy. Trailblazing, pioneering is a cost. It's a cost to lead. So people have to understand, when you're talking about being a leader, it is a cost to lead. It is a cost to lead. You better know what you're getting into. A pioneer, they need certain keys, and a trailblazer, they need certain keys in order to break through that next level of success and that next level of leading. Trailblazers have courage. You have to be courageous in this walk.
Right. And so if you're going to be a trailblazer, you're going to be a pioneer, and you're doing things now for other people. You are speaking up for other people. You are walking into places. You are trailblazing for other people who are going through crud. And then, so you're calling yourself an advocate. At this point, you are advocating for these people who you know who are going through. And so you are in a position where you are advocating for other people who are going through what you have been through. So my question to you is, do you feel like an advocate, a truly effective advocate, has to be a person that has endured whatever they're advocating for, or do you think it can be done otherwise?
I can advocate as hard as I do because I've walked that path. It's not from textbook theory, which is good, but I've experienced it. I've lived it. I know that it's an assignment, so I don't have a choice in the matter, because I made a promise to God. I said, if I ever come out of this, when I overcome this, my mouth, I won't be quiet anymore. I'm gonna let the world know this is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. So educating individuals, because it saves lives. How many people have died because we have kept our mouths closed about situations and matters that we felt as if we did not need to get into it, or that's not our business. Or we minimize the situation. But people are dying at the hands of those things. And it doesn't just have to even be with domestic violence. It can be whatever capacity that you're operating in. We see those individuals that are hurting, that are suffering, and we have the answer. We have the answer, or we have the resources that can point them into the right direction. That's what leading is about too. Being able to provide resources for those in need. Being able to have the answers and the solutions for the problems and the situations that come about with the diverse number of individuals that you're going to encounter on a daily basis. Those that you oversee, those that you're working with, because people come with problems. That's just what it is. People come with problems. I got some problems. We all got some. So whoever is leading me, they have to know how to navigate and how to handle that. What do you do? How do you handle those individuals that's on your staff or part of your team that have all these issues, but they're fit for the position, but they just got some stuff with them? What do you do? How do you help them? Or that individual that has the drive and the desire, but they don't quite have the skill set yet. What do? Do you just throw them away? Do you just work? What are you doing with them? So leader, you have to know how to triage pain. You have to know how to triage the problem. So what are you going to do? So leaders have a lot. They're leaders, but they're playing other roles as well. There have been the doctors. There have been the lawyers. There have been the teachers. There have been the mothers. There have been the fathers. There have been everything that you need at that time.
Yes.
Because of the individuals that they're leading.
I like that what you bring up, that people and problems come as a package deal. Because as long as somebody's living and learning and experiencing, they're going to be going through things. And as a leader, whether you want to or not, you're going to have to deal. You just have to deal. You got to deal. In order for them to be successful, there's some things they're going to have to work with. Either you're going to deal with it straight up, or you're going to help them get to the resource that they need if you truly are going to continue to lead them and allow them to be a part of your whatever. So you got to deal with people. But before we get off, because we are rounding near the end of our time, I want to.
It's going away so quickly.
I know. And there's so many things. But I want to touch on this idea and a word that you brought up, and it's exposure. So in your advocacy work, in your work as an organizational leader, in your work as a home leader, I think that one thing that leaders can do and should do is expose.
I love it.
If you are not exposing anything, that typically means you're also not growing people. You're not fixing anything. You're not really leading properly, because you're not exposing what's there. It could be some great things that are there. There could be some cruddy things that are there. But if you're not exposing it, see, that I think that's where a lot of people, and this is old school, sometimes cultural thing, and sometimes just people will just don't tell anybody about this, and don't say this. Oh, don't let anybody see, and Well, no, that's why it becomes a cycle. It keeps happening because we never break it. You got to break a cycle. Leaders are cycle breakers. You help break the cycle. And a lot of times it's just a cycle of foolishness, or a cycle of lack of education, a cycle of ignorance, a cycle of violence. It could be a cycle of just doing things the way we did them. And now you're wondering why other people are passing you by when you used to be so great. Well, it's because you didn't break the cycle of doing what you've always done.
Yes.
I've got to expose as a leader. Leadership should be about exposure. Not only should people be seeing what you're doing and you're exposing your great stuff, but you should be exposing your internal crap and dealing with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as a leader, you have to have that insight. You have to have that foresight. And especially with leaders, an effective leader, if you do your research and you find out, they have to be great at dealing with conflict and conflict resolution. Because as a leader, when you're dealing with people, you're going to always have conflict. And that means, how do you handle that? What conflict resolution? So leaders with that insight, if they don't address even the small issues, it can deter and it can tear up the whole entire organization, the whole entire business. If you don't address, if you don't expose the issue as to what's going on. So that insight for a leader is very critical and valuable. An effective leader, they're going to expose it. They're going to deal with it, so that they are able to grow. You can never grow. You can never go to the next step if you don't deal with those things that could be potentially in place to destroy you later on down the line. Whether it's a character flaw, whatever it may be, when leading, whatever it is that you see, but you have to be able to expose and deal with the conflict or the issues that come at hand. And how to resolve conflicts in a peaceful manner. Conflict is good. Conflict is good. Everybody think that conflict is a negative thing. Conflict is good. Conflict allows you to grow.
Right.
As an individual, as a leader, it lets you know how you can navigate and how to deal with the different issues that people, that the organizations that you're overseeing, that the team that you're working with, it helps you to develop. It helps you to grow. So you have to be able to expose those issues. You have to be able to expose what's not in the vision of the organization that you're dealing with, or the business that you're running, or what you're leading, or what you're overseeing. You have to be able to deal with those things effectively, and with fidelity.
Yeah. Hello. Well, Dr. Chemeka, We have approached the end of our time together. I really can't believe this has been the fastest hour
I
ever.
love this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please tell the people what you got going on, how they can get in contact with you, how they can get your book, how they can get with Next Level Leadership. Let them know. How can you get to you?
I'm so glad you asked, but you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Dr. Chemeka Turner Williams. Once again, I am a business and educational growth strategist. So I work with those that are leading in their businesses, developing their businesses, developing their leadership teams also. So I do have some coaching programs that's out there for those individuals. So if you need to contact me, you can contact me at www.nextlevelcoaching-consulting.org. That's the website email address. You can also email me at Dr. Chemeka at nextlevelcoaching-consulting.org. Once again, Dr. Chemeka at nextlevelcoaching-consulting.org. You can schedule your sessions for those that want to build their businesses or those that are already in business, those entrepreneurs, but you desire to take your business to the next level. You want to see growth in the finances. You want to see growth in your team, developing them as leaders as well. So there's so many things that you can do. My books that I have are Surviving in Silence, Overcoming Domestic Violence. You can also go to www.nextlevelcoaching-consulting.org, or you can also go to sheropublishing.com and you can purchase the book from there. I look forward to you. I look forward to connecting with you, to helping you reach your next level of leadership and your next level of success, your next level of growth. Dr. Renita Webb, I thank you for having the time and the opportunity to be on this platform here on today. So connect with me. With whatever it is that you need for your leadership and your business goals and desires. So I have a team of individuals that'll be waiting there for you as well.
Absolutely. So as you all can see, so not only are we twins in spirit, we're also twins in like the things that we do, but am I going to diminish her shine? Nah, absolutely not. Why? Because we are called to different people.
Absolutely.
There is somebody out there right now who needs Dr. Chemeka, and she's going to be able to do for you things I could never do, because we come from different experiences. We do different things. But what am I going to do? I'm going to give them her phone number, her email address. I'm going to give the link to her book, because queens support queens.
Absolutely.
If you can't call yourself a queen, if you don't know how to support another queen, and I mean, whether you've been to a pageant, you became a queen, or if you're a queen, because honey, we got some queens. We are queens.
Absolutely. We don't compete, we collaborate.
Hello, somebody. Be royal in everything you do.
Collaboration is key.
Yes. Yes. Do not diminish the shine of anybody else. Because you see how bright it is on this Leadership Live today. You know why? Because we both shining.
Shining.
But thank you so much, Dr. Chemeka.
Thank you. This has been wonderful, wonderful. I can't wait to see what you have next week and continue to grow yourself as the things that you're doing for all of the leaders that's out there. So I thank you for your dedication and your commitment to the cause.
Absolutely. Well, as you all heard, I will be right back here for week 25 of Leadership. Next week it'll be live at 25. It's going to be great and amazing. But as you can see, in 24 weeks, I have not let you down yet. And I do not plan on letting you down next week. It's going to be amazing. Dr. Chemeka, just fabulous and amazing. I just love you so much.
I love you. I love you too, my sister. I do.
Yeah, every time. But everybody out there, I love you. I love you. I love you. And remember to keep your leadership all the way live. And I will see you again next Monday at 9 p.m. right here. Bye.